The states that make up the Gulf Cooperative Council essentially rely on hydrocarbons for their livelihood. In Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, or Oman, the population of any particular city was most likely only a few thousand 50 years ago. Today, a number of the region's cities have developed into top-tier metropolises because of the abundance of gas and oil in the area. Indeed, Saudi Arabia is the sole owner of 16% of the world's known oil reserves. It is also the second largest oil producer in the world, contributing 15% of global oil production. Due to the increase in the price of natural gas and oil, Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern nations have seen historically large budget surpluses in recent years. Actually, 2.6% of the nation's GDP, or $27 billion, was recorded as surplus by the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Finance in 2023. In 2023, spending is expected to have reached approximately 1.132 trillion rials, while revenue is expected to have reached roughly 1.234 trillion rials. It wasn't always this way, though. Long-term low oil prices have caused chronic budget deficits in the majority of GCC members. The total deficits of the central governments in the GCC are expected to come close to $490 billion the following year, according to SAND Global Ratings. In the meantime, the national debt would rise by $100 billion, reaching a record level in 2022. It's clear that some countries have fared better than expected. However, they are still fully aware of how important gas and oil have become to their economy. For this reason, the Gulf Cooperation Council, including Saudi Arabia, has embraced the energy transition and is making investments in renewable energy. The percentage of green energy transactions grew to 10.3% from 1.1% in 2001, according to BCG's annual Manda report. Additionally, according to BCG, 283 green agreements were closed in the Middle East in the first 3 quarters of 2023. With a combined value of $23.8 billion, this is a 16% increase over the same period last year. Despite challenging financial circumstances, the analysis projects that an increasing proportion of acquisitions will be motivated by environmental concerns. Additionally, according to BCG's study, green agreements generate more value globally than non-green ones. Furthermore, over a 2-year period, the median relative total shareholder return of non-green agreements is larger than that of green accords. Among the Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are currently leading the way in investments in sustainable energy. Let's now examine the particular measures taken by these two countries to diversify their economy and wean themselves off of oil. When Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, Saudi Arabia's energy minister, said last year that his country wants to extract every last drop of oil, it created a stir in the oil business. But since then, Saudi Arabia has unveiled Vision 2030, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030 economic plan, one of the most ambitious initiatives for clean energy. By the end of this decade, 60 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity is the goal put forth in the Saudi Arabian economic plan. Additionally, fossil fuel-powered power plants will have an installed capacity of about 80 gigawatts. But Saudi Arabia's use of renewable energy sources hasn't advanced all that much. Just 400 megawatts of wind power is presently being developed, and only 300 megawatts of utility-scale solar power is currently in operation. You see, Saudi Arabia's huge, sun-blasted deserts and consistent Red Sea winds make it a perfect place to produce renewable energy. Furthermore, in 2022, the natural gas markets were rocked by Saudi Aramco, the national oil corporation of Saudi Arabia. It would also start the biggest shale gas production outside of the United States, according to a press statement. Within the next few years, Saudi Aramco plans to invest $110 billion to investigate the Jafurah gas field. The state-owned company intends to start producing natural gas from Jafurah in 2024 and reach 2.2 billion cubic feet per day by 2036. Aramco said 2 years ago that the gas will be transformed into far cleaner blue hydrogen rather than being liquefied and shipped as LNG. Additionally, Saudi Aramco told investors that it will prioritize hydrogen above LNG. The country's immediate objective, according to the CEO of Aramco, is to produce enough natural gas for domestic use so that power plants won't require oil. Moreover, the residues will be converted into hydrogen. Using recovered and stored CO2, blue hydrogen is produced via autothermal reforming or steam methane reforming. When greenhouse gases are absorbed, the effects on the environment of Earth will be reduced. Now, in the year 2021, Aramco shipped the first shipment of blue ammonia to Japan from Saudi Arabia. This is a result of Japan's persistent pursuit of long-term alliances with reputable hydrogen fuel providers. Saudi Arabia and Australia are at the top of their lists. The fact that Helios has the ability to produce green hydrogen at a lower cost than oil, however, is the true dealbreaker. According to projections from Bloomberg New Energy Finance, Helios might cost $1.50 per kilogram by 2030. Although green hydrogen is more affordable than gray hydrogen, which is created by splitting natural gas, it still costs around $5 per kilogram. Saudi Arabia enjoys a major competitive edge in the green hydrogen business due to its abundance of sunshine, wind, and undeveloped land. Moreover, Germany has declared its intention to buy enormous amounts of green hydrogen. Additionally, it hopes Saudi Arabia will become a significant supplier. Over the past 2 years, the German government has committed to investing over $10.2 billion in hydrogen technology in an effort to decarbonize the economy and lower CO2 emissions. To create fuel hydrogen, the government has even suggested building 5,000 megawatts of electrolysis capacity by 2030 and an additional 5,000 megawatts by 2040. The economic powerhouse of Europe has accepted that it requires assistance. As it increases its reliance on renewable energy, it needs low-cost sources like Saudi Arabia. Regarding the United Arab Emirates, the Emirates Nuclear Energy Corporation has formally inaugurated the country's first nuclear power facility. With a 1,400 megawatts capacity, the Baraka Unit 1 is currently the UAE's biggest electricity supplier. In actuality, early December saw the attainment of full capacity. These days, power is constant, dependable, and sustainable all the time. According to INEC, the Baraka Unit 1 is now leading the largest industry-wide decarbonization program in the United Arab Emirates. By adopting Saudi Arabia's strategy, the United Arab Emirates is strengthening its position in the energy transition. A deal to build a solar project in Azerbaijan was also inked in April 2022 by Masdar, the sustainable energy business based in Abu Dhabi. Since its establishment in 2006, Masdar has been expanding its portfolio of renewable energy assets across 30 nations. Additionally, it has invested more than $20 billion in the development of 11 gigawatts of wind, solar, and waste-to-energy sources. Masdar has also declared intentions to build new facilities in the United Arab Emirates using its knowledge of sustainable energy that it has acquired abroad. The company has said that the United Arab Emirates would surely make advantage of the solutions it has developed for its global operations. For example, Masdar plans to build regional wind farms to augment the UAE's meager wind resources. Class 3 turbines, which can produce electricity at low wind speeds, will be used. At a cost of $1.1 billion, they are also constructing one of the biggest waste-to-energy plants in the world. When the units are in operation, they will also be able to burn about 2/3 of the nation's yearly domestic waste. Waste-to-energy plants are not often regarded as clean energy sources, according to the United Nations Environment Program. Newer plants, however, are more cleaner. These facilities burn garbage at extremely high temperatures thanks to state-of-the-art technology. Additionally, testing have revealed that some waste-to-energy chimneys emit cleaner air than the air that enters them. The world's oil consumption is expected to expand significantly by 1.8 million barrels per day, BPD, in 2025 due to stronger global economic growth and sustained activity in China, according to OPEC's initial forecast for demand levels released on Wednesday. According to OPEC's much-awaited monthly oil market report, MOMR, today, the cartel revised its forecast for global economic growth from 2.6% in 2024 to 2.8% in 2025. Because of this, OPEC predicted that world oil demand would rise by a healthy 1.8 million barrels per day year-over-year in 2025. This growth would be supported by China's ongoing strong economic activity as well as anticipated robust development in other non-OECD nations. The approximately 1.7 million BPD growth in non-OECD nations, mostly in China, the Middle East, and India, will propel the expansion in oil demand next year. OPEC maintained its forecast for 2024 demand growth at 2.2 million BPD, which was the same as the estimate from the previous month. This year, in an effort to give the market longer-term guidance, OPEC is delaying its first outlook for the upcoming year by a few months. In order to support understanding of market dynamics and the ongoing commitment of OPEC and non-OPEC participating countries in the Declaration of Cooperation, DOC, to achieve and sustain a stable oil market and to provide long-term guidance for the market, OPEC said that it is taking on the task of going beyond the previously established time horizon of short-term forecasting. According to the organization, non-OPEC output is expected to increase by 1.3 million barrels per day in 2024 and 2025 in terms of supplies. OPEC stated that healthy demand and upstream investment would boost non-OPEC oil supplies in 2025. The cartel estimates that non-OPEC nations' upstream capital expenditures in the oil and gas sector will total approximately $473 billion in 2019. Growth is mostly anticipated to come from the United States production of liquids, which is predicted to increase by 600,000 bpd in 2025, mostly from the Gulf of Mexico, unconventional NGLs, and Permian crude. According to OPEC, further key growth drivers are anticipated to come from new field startups, ramp-ups, or the optimization of current operations in Brazil, Canada, Norway, Kazakhstan, and Guyana. And that's it. If you want to continue to learn about business investing and financial education, we have got this video waiting on the screen for you to check out. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.